offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their third annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's third annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
Welcome into Serving Volley, featuring Nebraska assistant coach and recruiting coordinator Jaylen Reyes. Serving Volley gives you a look behind the curtain of Nebraska volleyball and a coach's perspective on the world of college athletics. Serving Volley is sponsored by Love Volleyball Nebraska. Become a Love Volleyball Nebraska member for your chance to engage with Love and its players. Now it's time for First Serve on Serving Volley with your host, Jaylen Reyes.
I don't know. You know, it must be Jaylen. He get a different beat than everybody else. He gets a different groove. It's a different vibe.
I mean, we had to do it right for this one.
Right?
It's a big
right.
show, DP.
Right. Well, don't say that out loud because, you know, then Mark Manning going to want.
I like the Takedown Tuesday stuff. That's great.
No, but Mark Manning's going to, he's going to want like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Is that Mark Manning?
Oh, that's Manning. Manning.
I can see that.
Manning, I love that. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
DP, I thought you were spinning that yourself. I was like, DP's in the house today.
No, sir. 402-464-5685 is the Starter Heyman text line. You want to be a part of what we're doing? And you do. You really do. To hang out with your boy. Your boy is in the house. Jaylen Reyes, Husker Volleyball. Coach, how the heck are you?
It's been great. Good trip out to the East Coast. We're back and we're training and getting ready for Washington and Purdue this week.
Oh, so you were traveling. Where'd you go?
We made a pit stop in State College, Pennsylvania.
How'd that go for you, Coach?
It was a 3-0 kind of historic sweep, which was it was one of those things where as a competitor, you know, especially with an opponent like Penn State, you know, we have the luxury here in Nebraska of being able to play a few of these kind of teams throughout the year where it's both teams have it circled, college volleyball fans have it circled. And if I'm being honest, I always kind of go into those things like expecting kind of this classic historical match where, I don't know, we even talked to the girls last week about, you know, these matches affect the history of our sport. Right? Penn State, Nebraska, Stanford, Texas, Nebraska, Florida, Minnesota. These are the games that affect the history of the sport. And, you know, you look back on it and you expect those to be like super close 5-setters. And we walked out of there with a historic win, but honestly, in my opinion, a very different result. And not because of winning and losing, but just kind of still shocked at how that match went. If I'm being honest, being a participant, it was, we played really, really well. I would assume if I'm a Penn State coach, I think I would assume they just kind of ran into a tough team in Nebraska and a hot team. And I don't think that was their best effort. And the next time we get to play them, luckily, is going to be on Black Friday. I'm sure they're going to come out with, I'm sure it's going to be a different match and stuff like that. But credit to our girls. I thought Danny did a great job of preparing the team going into the week. We spent a good amount of time on Penn State. And I'm still kind of lost for words on how that match went. Just hearing just interesting stories, listening to even some of the Fox people talking about the fact that the game was done in like an hour and 20 minutes. They had to fill, because Fox had a 2-hour window at minimum. They had to fill like a 40-minute block, just talking, interviews, talking about the Big Ten, I didn't watch the TV broadcast, but I don't think a lot of people expected that, nor did I. And the next time we play them, I'm sure it's going to be a tighter match for sure.
So there's so many different oars in the water for this thing, right? The build up, to try to not put all the eggs in the basket, but as much as you try to resist it, you kind of have to, because it's the reigning national champion and you have history. But then to get there, Jaylen, if Harrison and I had asked you last week, hey, draw up the perfect first set, you could not have dreamt a first set like the first set that took place. 25-6 first set. Have you ever been a part of a 25-6? I've never, I was trying to think of it in a baseball sense or a football sense or a basketball sense, how close to perfect that is. And then, a top 25 program and the reigning defending national champion. It's got to be a little bit mind-blowing, right?
I mean, I've been a part of some lopsided sets before, but I'm never part of it good or bad in terms of like the two quality of teams. I've been a part of them where, maybe we have a little more talent than the other program, but not in a match of this magnitude where you had two historic programs going at it. And I mean, just the start of the match, in terms of how, the Huskers went out and executed, as a coach, especially on the defensive side of things, I don't know if there's any, I mean, sure, there's always correction somewhere, but in terms of like how certain things were to fall, I don't think we could have asked for a better start. Obviously, the result is the result, but in terms of just like where all the cards fell to get to that result, there was a lot of things that went our way. And credit to the girls. I thought they did a really nice job of just getting out there, executing, and the points that we were to lose, we recovered pretty quickly. Someone told me a stat, not a stat, but it was usually volleyball. It's a huge game of runs, obviously. And I think if you watched the game on Friday, you saw a bunch of runs by one team. But one thing we talk about in volleyball is we want to go back there and you want your server to serve 3 balls in a row. You want to go on a 3-point run. Penn State didn't do that until the third set of the game, when the game was kind of distant. And it was, you just like, volleyball is about siding out and trying to get the server off the line. And if you're serving, you want to stay on the line as long as you can. But you realize sometimes it's not realistic against great teams to go back and serve 4, 5, 6 times in a row. So we try to like, hey, can we just get a few 3-point runs in a set? And that's the difference sometimes.
When you say that, though, that again, and the perfect film study, preview, drill, scheme planning, every bit of it, rotation adjustment, in-game management, 25-6 is a statement of, oh my goodness, this number 1 ranked team may actually be as good as talked about. And to manage it, I just want to know, in your head, going through the first set, are you and coach looking at each other kind of like, is this really happening? What was the conversation?
I think there was a little bit of like in timeouts where it was like, it was whoa, even we were, and I'll be honest, and I hate to speak for Penn State. I don't think they feel like they put their best foot forward on this. That's a team that right now is going through some transition with certain things on their roster, and we don't need to get into that because that's none of my business. But they still have so much talent on that team. They still have some really, really talented athletes and some players that are going to be All-Americans. And I just think they ran into a team that was playing really well and played really well that night. And, I think I think if I'm them, we ran into a buzzsaw, and the next time we get to play Nebraska, they're going to put a way better foot forward for sure. I thought one thing that we did that was really shocking was how we kind of took charge of the match. I think it really took that crowd out of it, which for them is a big deal. I got to a point where I felt like I heard myself talking a lot, and usually at that place and some of the other places in the Big Ten, like we're going to go to Holloway Gym at Purdue this weekend. And usually those are the two places where it's like I could be screaming and still can't hear myself, and I thought we did a really good job of trying to take that factor out of the match. And we just did it early. And it was one of those things where after the first set, sometimes we get into these things in volleyball where we came here to win 3 sets. And the one thing about volleyball that's different from basketball and football, in football, when you win a quarter by 20 points or basketball, you start the next quarter up 20 points. In volleyball, you reset to 0, right? And at the end of the game, the game doesn't necessarily care how many points you won. Total points. It cares about, did you win 3 sets by 2 points? So you could win a set 25-6, but then lose the next 3 by 2 each. And sure, you won more points than the other team, but you still lost the match, right? That's tennis. That's the point, but after that first set, our staff we're talking to each other. We're talking to the team saying, hey, they're going to play a lot better. We played really well. The goal is, can we maintain it? And they're going to play a lot better. And, I don't think they played that much better than they played in the first set. And, credit to our girls, we kind of kept it on them, and we were pretty consistent, and they kept executing, and we made a couple of adjustments during the game that they tried to change. And, it was just one of those things where, if I'm being honest, and sometimes I've been on the other side where it's just not your night, and the other team is just rolling, and the other team's good enough to take advantage of the things. And I thought we just did a really nice job, but, I know that staff is really, really good, and they have a lot of talent, and they'll be back, on Black Friday, here in Lincoln. And I know that one's going to be, I expect another, Titanic battle between these two programs. And I'm still shocked of how it went, if I'm being really honest with everybody here.
Well, it became fascinating in your rotations, and you went to non-starters for the simple term for it. And no matter what button you pressed, it was the right button. It was literally the right button that from your depth, whoever you put in, whether it was to serve in the rotation, you got production. And that's got to be validating in a large level, because they put in work too. And they don't know what the expectation, how this match is going to go. It went perfectly, and it's got to be good for the second level players, the players that don't start. They're in the regular rotation, but they're not the first group. It's got to mean a lot to them to see themselves match up against Penn State and get it done.
Right. I think this is a team win. Starters did a great job of jumping on them, and then, the first one that went in was, Skylar Pierce helped us side out in a row where typically you have a player that doesn't hit on a certain side of the net. Skylar comes in for Virginia and helps us side out. Campbell Flynn and Ali Check comes in, and they do a really nice job in the second and third sets. Macy Bosinger kind of scores a couple of points at the end of that third set. I mean, we got a lot of people in, which was really awesome and huge for us, because you're right, DP, those kids work. One, they're really talented too. I mean, it's not, I think for Husker fans out there, they see there's not this massive drop off when we put somebody else in, from Bergen Riley to Campbell Flynn in the setter position, or Olivia Malk to Lainey Choboy in the libero position, or any of our 4 outside hitters, to where, we've started some matches with Virginia Adriano and Ali Check comes in, and vice versa. So it's really, really awesome. I think that was one of the cooler things for me. One of my big takeaways was, wow, we got a lot of people in that helped us. They make some adjustments, and we're able to make some adjustments, whether it's players on the court or players we have on the bench. And now we put in a couple other people, and maybe now we're playing a little bit of different styles. So we're always trying to stay out ahead of either the team that we're playing or the staff that we're coaching against. And credit to those kids. They came in and when it was like, there's no let up. It's we're foaming at the mouth to play. We get out there and we do the same thing that what was going on 5 minutes ago. It's happening and maybe happening even more in a hurry. And yeah, that was a really awesome thing too. That was a big takeaway for me, was we could be able to get all those kids some time.
Well, I mean, and with the time, the reaffirmation part of it, that, you know what, all the work, it shows you were listening at practice. It shows the practice work paid off. And in this day and age, with so many eyes and ears and hands in the program, to give them validation, that constant, consistent validation that I'm in the right place, being patient, I have to trust the process, and I'll get better here. And it showed on national television in front of the national champs. Yeah,
I mean, we have a lot of players that are so talented, whether they're, starters or we call them game changers for us.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think of a player like Skylar Pierce, who Skylar's top recruit, one of the top recruits out of Kansas City, comes here, red shirts last year because he just wasn't quite ready to play yet, and is playing awesome. Helps us a couple points at Penn State, starts against Rutgers, hits 450 or so, which is a massive number as an outside hitter. And I mean, she's rolling this year, and stuff like that. And, I'm excited for her as this season goes on. It's like, hey, each day, right? Talk about, what are the coaches' sayings, like win the day or get 1% better. Like, that's somebody that's been doing that ever since she stepped on campus. And I'm looking forward to see, she's going to keep continuing to get opportunities here. And for me, it's like every time we've called her name, she's answered the bell. So I have no doubt the next time it is called, why wouldn't she do it again?
Well, I love the fact, Harrison and I were talking about it even last week, how interesting it was to see how this group would accept the success of that performance in that building and then turn it around and give the same type of effort, same sort of presence, same accountability the next night at Rutgers. And I think they did you a favor, because 8,000 fans showed up to Rutgers.
It was awesome. They had the band. It was loud. It was great because I think Rutgers was on a bye for football. So like everybody was around, their admin were around. I know we're talking to their staff. We have some potential things in the works down the road when we go back to the New York area, but just their admin getting to see that and like, wow, like selling out the Rack or Jersey Mike Arena, which is pretty awesome. And I mean, it was fun. It was a very fun environment. And I think even the Rutgers team and staff saw like, wow, I know we're losing. And I know a lot of these guys, like a lot of these fans are here to see Nebraska, but this is like a really, really awesome volleyball environment. And for those that aren't, big into volleyball that maybe are listening, one, thank you for listening. But two is, Rutgers isn't typically a huge volleyball powerhouse. And they don't typically get a lot of people, but their staff has done a really nice job of just changing the culture of the program, but even the way the admin at Rutgers think about it, where now they're playing all the time in their basketball arena, which is honestly 8,000 people. That's what we have here at Vanny. It's a perfect volleyball venue in terms of size and how it's built. And I think their admin, hopefully they got to see like, wow, this is pretty awesome. And hopefully they can keep bringing in crowds of the similar magnitude when they play some of the other big teams in the Big Ten. So yeah, that was great. I think that was a big thing too, just because, little do people know we get down at Penn State, obviously a shorter match than we thought it was going to be, but we don't get to the hotel because we fly into Newark, take the 40-ish minute bus ride down to the New Brunswick area. And we don't get to the hotel until, I don't know, 1:30. Probably girls don't go to bed because I bet they're probably still like, what the heck just happened until 2:30. We have server and pass in the morning, and there's a little bit of complacency that could creep in, right? That's like human nature, especially you go from this high to high to, okay, we're playing a team that isn't a brand name team, but still a very, very good team. And I thought we came out and played really well. We got to start some other people, but again, we're all about trying to win a banner and not necessarily individual accolades. And I thought Manaya Obeche in the middle came in and just, lit it up like she's been doing all year. We talked about Skylar Pierce and, Campbell Flynn and Allie Check again came in, pretty much halfway through the second, got to play the whole third set, and we didn't miss a beat. In fact, I thought we played even better in the third set than we did in the first and second set with those guys in. So just, again, a total team weekend, I thought. And I don't know, I thought Kelly, Brennan, and Danny did a really good job of preparing the team. And, I thought, obviously the boss lady did a really good job of just pressing the right buttons, and all the buttons worked this weekend. So hopefully we can keep that going this week.
Yeah. I'm not sure we would have won that bet to say that there'd have been more fans at Rutgers than Penn State for Nebraska.
I think that's at a record in New Jersey for the highest attended volleyball game.
Yeah. And I don't want to bury the lead, but Jaylen just said a thing. We're working on some things.
I know. I heard that too.
Yeah, I heard that. I just want to make sure that the reporter ear in me, just kind of in the back of the mind.
You, DP.
And then the mind, the brain starts to work. Well, what could they be up to? What could they be up to in New Jersey and New York City?
Well,
I don't know. What could they be doing, Harrison?
I was telling this to Tristan. Husker volleyball is getting to the point of being almost the Savannah Bananas of volleyball, where it's like pick an arena.
It's a traveling roadshow. Mm-hmm. It's a traveling roadshow. Like, hey, the Huskers are coming to town.
Seriously.
The Savannah Bananas, I love it.
That's gonna.
I've always wanted to go to one of their games though too. That looks pretty cool.
Oh, should we go root for Kyle Perry?
Well, Kyle. Okay, so I'm going to connect you with Kyle Perry. I did get to catch them in. Where was that? Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago.
Is that Soldier Field?
No, they played at the White Sox Stadium.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And sold it out 2 nights in a row. And then it is the Husker kind of vibe, right? Because it's not like the White Sox were selling out. They sold it out, standing room only, both nights on a Friday and Saturday night. He got me seats on the dugout. So wow. You're involved in it. And then they have a 6-hour pregame festival.
Oh, I bet.
And it's packed. And then afterwards, Kyle stood there and signed autographs for 2 hours afterwards. The next morning, they had a signing at a Dunkin' Donuts at a mini mall. 8,000 people.
I was like, it's
8,000 people in the morning. So yeah, it's the traveling Huskers volleyball roadshow. They need a van and some Harlem Globetrotter music to let people know they're coming. They're out there doing. They can see Rebecca and a lady with a volleyball, and they're spinning it and throwing confetti buckets. Yeah, I think they're pretty active over there anyway. You might as well film it.
That's true.
You might as well film it.
Because if not, they're filming it anyway.
Well, but here's the thing. I'm going to give you $1 million idea for NIL. Okay. Can you need somebody to sponsor their in-game celebrations and put it on social media?
That's actually a great one.
You need somebody to sponsor it. And
this Laney Choboy celebration is brought to you by.
What do we call it? And it's absolutely going to happen. You heard
Rebecca Alec finger wag is sponsored
right?
by.
That's what I mean. It's a full. Like that's going to be the they have the fat heads and they did this with Zakimbe, so they absolutely can do it with Rebecca. We'll throw it to break when we come back. I know you said they're about the big things and not so much the little things, but a thing I noticed today, I went, that's got to be good locker room stuff right there. The Big Ten and their Player of the Week awards. Some interesting numbers, Harrison. I'll give you those numbers when we come back and talk to Jaylen Reyes.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. High around 67. Tonight, clear skies and light and variable winds. Below around 45. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze. afternoon high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I can't believe I just scratched that car. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge, with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs, from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Advanced Medical Imaging is hosting their 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk on October 11th at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Hear inspiring stories from survivors, enjoy local food truck vendors, a live DJ, and other family-friendly activities as we unite to bring awareness about breast cancer. Check-in begins at 8:30 a.m. with the walk starting at 9. Register your team today for Advanced Medical Imaging's 3rd annual Breast Cancer Awareness Walk online at amimaging.com. Let's walk for those we've lost, for those still fighting, and for a future without breast cancer.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown's Shoe Fit. Now through October 31st, take $15 off any regularly priced fall shoes and boots. Brands like Keen, Oboz, Echo, Taos, and Atrex all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale you've all been waiting for, so get down to Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q.
Okay,
Okay, kids, Dad's gonna teach you how to dance. First, spread your feet apart. Then, pump your knee, nod your head, shake your hips, and bite your lip ever so slightly. Now, with one hand in the air, point at people with the other hand. I call that the rock star.
Dance like a dad. It's a great way to make a moment with your kids.
Now, make a face like it just smells something bad.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Welcome into Serve and Volley with your host, Nebraska assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, Jaylen Reyes.
Welcome back. Here we go. So, I get a little, I'm naturally curious. And when the math don't math, I tend to just kind of dive in. And the fine folks from the Big Ten Conference, they do their thing, and they send weekly awards, superlatives, the best of the best, and I track it. I get the email, and they send it to me, and I share it with Harrison. I'm like, oh, we got more news from the Big Ten volleyball, and I had a little issue with it, sir, and maybe you can help out. You said that, well, we're about the national title and big picture items. We let the individual things take care of themselves. But, okay, so now, shout out to Bergen Riley, third time this season, setter of the week. Outstanding, right? In the notes, they put in, they're very specific, led the top-ranked Huskers 2 more sweeps. Total of 5 consecutive sweeps by the Huskers, right? They're shouting you from the rooftop, all right? 26 assists, 8 digs, 3 blocks, 2 kills, and an ace. Y'all hit 437, season high numbers, all right? She's a setter. Give her credit. Quarterback had a great week. Wonder who else got an award from Nebraska for that performance. Nope. Nope, didn't happen. So then it may be Harrison. Week 1, player of the week. Kennedy Martin, Penn State. Now, granted, amazing player. Incredible week. Wasn't the best player in the Big Ten Conference in week 1. Just going to say that out loud. Week 2, Julia Hansen from Minnesota. Understood. Shout her out. I get it. No. Allison Jacobs and Kenna Wallard from Purdue. They thought so much to co-best player, and still Mimi Collier from Wisconsin got it back to back. What did she do? Did she walk on water? Did she moonwalk into a kill? What did she do? Did she do the natural and she went for a kill, the ball exploded, or it unpeeled and it just rolled to the other side of the floor? This past week, Kenna Wallard again, Purdue. Listen to me. 6. You've had 7 players of the week. 7. Harrison, by the math that I just provided and the data just before, how many of those were Nebraska?
I think it's a 0.
0. Harrison, you and I have the same number of player of the weeks as the number 1 ranked Nebraska Huskers.
And I'm not 14-0.
Right?
Neither are you.
So, Jaylen, I get that bigger mission, different focus. But just between you, us, and the listener, just between us. That's some bull, man. Jaylen, come on. Come on.
I mean, I think one for sure.
Look, listen, this is how you know he's gonna be Governor Reyes one
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
Watch this movement. This is gonna be smooth, and smooth with a V, not TH. Smooth. Okay, Jaylen, come on.
Oh, you're right, DP. You're about to. No, I think one thing that to a degree hurts that one, getting out all the fluff that I'm going to say, I'll get it out right now. We're about, again, bigger mission. Can we win the next match? Can we just keep getting better each and every day? Not necessarily focused on that, for sure. Would they be nice? Yeah, for sure. And I think one thing I would advocate for our players, because they work really, really hard, just like a lot of other teams do. But I think results should matter. And I know a lot of Big Ten teams, they win a lot too. So it's not like, oh, we're the only team in the Big Ten that's winning. But I think I love when our players, whether it's setter, outside hitter, bench players, they get recognized for the stuff they're doing throughout the weeks, but also when they put it out in performance, right? Because we know there's a lot of, in sports, right? There's people that they're really great in training, but when the lights are on, they just can't perform, right? A lot of our girls have done both in both settings, which is really, really awesome. But kind of going to what I was going to say after that was, I think sometimes too, to a degree, and I don't 100% know who votes on certain things. I don't know necessarily how, I'll be honest, how much volleyball they really know. You know, it might just be a stat sheet thing. And that's totally fine, because I think I'm a big numbers guy too. Numbers don't tell you everything, but it gives you a kind of a quick snapshot of necessarily it's not always apples to apples, but comparing, hey, if this person has a certain amount of kills per set and this person hit this percentage and on these number of attempts, can you compare it to this person that's playing on the other end of the country that's, killed this many balls per set and is hitting this percentage? So I think sometimes it's picked off of numbers, and I think, and a lot of other great teams have this problem too, is, when you have a deep team, sometimes it's not one person's getting the ball all the time, especially as an attacker. And Bergen and Campbell, when she's in there, they've done a great job of spreading out the offense. That's what it makes us really hard to defend, but maybe can bite us in the butt in terms of, I don't know, collecting maybe individual awards per week. I guess to use the basketball terms, maybe we don't have a 25-point scorer, but we got a bunch of 17-point scorers and they're all super efficient and we can all play D, and the team D necessarily is more important than just one person's individual, block shots and rebounds. It's kind of a group thing. And, I think the way we play and maybe the way we want to run our offense and defense necessarily doesn't cater to someone collecting a ton of kills per set, because we don't necessarily need them to. And I would rather be coaching that kind of team than, hey, you have to set this one person all the time. So I think one thing too, and I want to say this for the record, all the players you mentioned are really, really talented individuals. And obviously we just had to deal with Kennedy Martin. We'll have to deal with her again. And Mimi Collier has been playing at Oregon. Now she's at Wisconsin. So she's at we've played her a couple times when she was at Oregon, not in the Big Ten. And obviously last year we dealt with them in the Big Ten, and now she'll be playing her last year for another Big Ten school. That's a very, really, really obviously top tier program school. And Kenna Willard from Purdue's had a really awesome year, and we're going to have to deal with her on Sunday. So I just think there's so much talent in the Big Ten too. And I think there's a little bit of, I don't know, maybe a little bit of, hey, we don't want to just give Nebraska the award every single week. And to us, and if you ask some of our players, that's okay. And hopefully we can just, a lot of our players, especially the core of the team, a lot of them have received individual awards. Mm-hmm. They've won the Big Ten, which is something we're trying to achieve. They've been to Final Fours, which is another thing we want to achieve. But at the end of the day, and I can't stress this enough, there's this one thing at the end of the year that all of us, coaches included, haven't finished the deal. And you go home crying and, oh, it's been a great year. We've had 5 All-Americans and this many all Big Ten players. And that stuff's awesome. But for us, honestly about one thing, and this is not the governor talk. This is like what we really, truly feel. And I know there's some other programs too that want to feel that way, but for us, I'm not saying it's championship or bust, but we're trying to win that big rectangle trophy at the end of the year that, hey, we could have 2 All-Americans or 17 All-Americans at the end of the year. We're all going to remember whether we won the trophy or not, So, kudos to the players that were luckily selective, and I think deservedly so. I think there's a lot of great volleyball programs. I think one also that doesn't help is there's more teams now. I mean, my gosh, it's like we're out on the East Coast playing Rutgers and Penn State, and I'm watching Ohio State versus Washington Big Ten game. Literally Big Ten after dark.
11 o'clock
the
at
great
night. Yeah,
Pacific
11 o'clock
Northwest,
at night.
by the way.
Yeah, 11
and
o'clock at night.
I still can't, we're going to play Washington in Lincoln in October in a Big Ten volleyball game. It still hasn't, especially with those 4 schools, it still just hasn't hit me that, USC, I'm not going to turn it on the TV and watch a UCLA Stanford competition in conference. Like that's just, and this is a different topic for another day, but I think there's a lot of factors that go into necessarily none of our players, winning a Big Ten Player of the Week award yet. But for us is, hey, can we just get better tomorrow? We play really well this weekend, and hopefully, hey, maybe we get maybe DP's campaign over here maybe can get us one next week. But for us is we got to win 2 matches, and that's kind of what we're focused on.
All of it's exceptional.
Was that smooth enough for you?
Smooth.
I don't remember what the question was.
Right? Listen. We know who he is. We know he knows who he is. That's the real OG.
It's like skirt.
Listen. You could try the chin music. It ain't happening, bro. I'm not going down that path. We're gonna go to break. We'll come back. We're gonna talk a little football because I need to ask his opinion on some things that, travel was a thing that was mentioned by several Big Ten football coaches. And then travel will take place for this Husker football team and how difficult it is to manage. Yes, Nebraska has an advantage being middle of the country, but these coastal programs, it's got to have effect on the players. And I want to ask Jaylen how to deal with that. How Penn State said, listen, going to UCLA, going to Rose Bowl was fine in theory, but it just wears on you. You had traveled to Happy Valley and Rutgers, and it wasn't necessarily easy. It's less than. I'll ask how to deal with that, and then how to bounce back. What is the coaching thing for bouncing back from that kind of moment? It's a big week for Husker football. It's a big run. It's one of those fork in the road kind of matchups. 2 4-1 teams. Both are going to have different feelings about their season after the matchup. We'll get Jaylen's take on it when we come back.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
Have you heard about Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center? Located at 7555 Pioneers Boulevard, Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center offers compassionate, patient-focused care and provides outpatient surgery services, making it possible to have non-emergency surgery and return home the same day. Advanced Medical Imaging Surgery Center specializes in cardiology, vascular radiology, orthopedics, pain management, and much, much more. Give them a call today at 402-261-1085 or online at amimaging.com.
Are you tired of your usual barbershop experience? Stop into Scissors and Scotch today. I know what you're thinking. Drink during a haircut? Don't worry. First comes the precision cut from one of their experienced barbers, followed by your complimentary cocktail in their upscale lounge. Scissors and Scotch blends your old school barber feel with your favorite watering hole. And now you can earn $10 off by simply mentioning the ticket. And if you're an existing member, still mention the ticket for an exclusive offer. Offer valid at Lincoln location only. Scissors and Scotch, located just south of 30th and Yankee Hill, and online at lincoln.scissorscotch.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Welcome into Serve and Volley with your host, Nebraska assistant coach and recruiting coordinator, Jaylen Reyes.
Final segment before we hand it over to he's as good a kick returner in Nebraska history. DeMornay Pearsonell will take us to 9, and then Chris Raff's good takes. And then Harris and I will come back and just absolutely stir the pot. Total insanity and chaos from 10 o'clock until midnight. No holds barred radio. It's just, we go anywhere. We never know what rabbit hole we're going to end up down. We ended up last night where? The Canadian Football League in Baltimore?
Yeah, the Baltimore Colts.
The Baltimore Stallions.
The Stallions.
The CFL champion Baltimore Stallions.
And the overnight move, and they just ripped a very, very important franchise away from that city.
It's
in the dead of night and gaslit the fans into saying, we're not doing that. How dare you think we're lying?
Yeah, at 4:00 in the afternoon, the owner for the Baltimore Colts, got on TV and said, the nerve of you to ask me if we would leave. We would never leave Baltimore. And at 12:01, the Mayflower Moving Bands showed up at Memorial Stadium and packed the entire company, the entire team.
A absolutely wild story.
And in the snow.
They did like a 30 for 30 on that.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
It was like, they're like, literally, there's moving trucks.
Yes.
You know?
The Mayflower moving trucks. It was a jam. Like, literally, people were waking up in their neighborhoods going, wait a minute, you better not move. Everybody drove to the stadium to hold them back. So, interesting business, kind of the stuff. Jaylen, travel in the Big Ten, you said 18 member programs across the country. And in some of these cases, again, you're talking about there are going to be nights where Penn State has to fly across the country to face Oregon. UCLA is going to have a cross-country travel across time zones to face Maryland. And it's got to be how do you manage that in getting there when you get there? Because not all travel is preferred. It's not ideal. You're going to get in late because it's cross-country and time zones. How do you manage all?
I mean, there's a lot. I think the one thing is hopefully when we're not traveling, the athletes and the coaches are taking care of themselves, when they're at home, nutrition, getting enough sleep, all that stuff, right? Obviously, we're balancing school and stuff like that, training. I think one thing is just, there's a million, the science, depending on who you talk to, I feel like when you boil it down to, it always comes back to, do you get enough sleep? That's kind of, hey, when we're all sick, what do you feel like when you're all feeling your worst? What's like the one thing besides taking medicine or thing you like to do? Is we all feel the need to sleep. So a lot of that and the time and the travel and the time changes, and even sometimes the change of weather, right? If you're UCLA, you're going, especially nowadays, you're UCLA, you're going to go out to Rutgers and the weather's going to be different, a lot of that can just mess with one's sleep cycle. We always found, luckily we are in the middle of the country. We always found sometimes when you travel, it's not necessarily when you go out there, it's like the recovery of the next week. So, hey, you go out there, you're all like, hey, we're all running on adrenaline. We're all on our best behavior because we're about to travel. Awesome. Big win, yada, yada, come back. Forget those habits sometimes. And then maybe we don't have great practice going into the week. Maybe some kids get sick. Maybe, such and such. Hey, we forget these little details as coaches. And next, it doesn't set you up for the next week. So sometimes it's not the initial travel, but it's what you do the following week, especially when you go cross country or especially when you go across a couple time zones. So I think one thing to manage it is just like managing everyone's sleep, I think is a big thing for us. And then, I think health, nutrition and stuff like that, being smart about how much you're training.
You're also about to break the matrix. You do understand you're about to stop the matrix. All the numbers are flowing right now. You're about to stop them because if you're telling the listeners and parents and fans that you have somehow figured out how to get a number of college female student athletes to sleep, you have broken every single level of the matrix.
Now, DP, I'm not saying they always listen.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those things where, for us, a lot of our girls, we have different routines, and they're because they're different people, right? They're different humans. They have different bodies. They have different needs. But it's like we always kind of found in my time, because Coach Cook used to obsess about this kind of stuff. It always kind of came down to, hey, can they get enough like great recovery time rest? And some people need 8 hours. Some people need 6.5. Some people need a solid set. Like that can fluctuate, right? Mm-hmm. Eating healthy, but eating healthy for some people means this but for us, it always came down to like, hey, can they get the right amount of sleep? So usually when we're on the road, we don't do breakfast like at the hotel super early. We don't force them to get up and get moving pretty early unless sometimes you have to. We try to. So like for an example, we play Penn State. For us, because we played the next day, we fly out right after the match. Try to get to the hotel, but that's a tough one. But most of our trips that we, we'll travel somebody. If we go to another spot and we don't play the next day, we'll spend the night in the same city we just played in. So that way they can get like a normal night of sleep. We don't need to get to the hotel at like 1 a.m. and kind of set us back the next day. We get up, at a reasonable hour, hop on the plane, go to the next match. So I think a lot of it is just, can you manage sleep before, during, and then can you get them back on the normal cycle, whichever time zone you're in? I think that's a big thing for us.
It has been quite the run, kind sir, and quite the journey. And the journey is what makes the end game matter the most. And you have your GPS set, and it is locked, and it's good to know. Jaylen, thank you, kind sir. Good luck this weekend. Not that you need it. Go get it.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me, and go Big Red.
You heard the man. Go Big Red. Governor Reyes.
Governor Reyes. Smooth.
Don't go anywhere. The Don't Punt Hour coming up. DeMornay Pearsonell will take you to 9 o'clock.